talking about practical privacy. Mykola, please take the stage. Can we, wait, hold on. Can we have some more energy, please? Yay! And then a lot of energy after break, too. Thank you.
Oh, hey, everyone. Having good energy is precious because we think that privacy can be a celebration and joy, not a gloom and doom. They asked me to talk about the practical privacy, and we're in a situation when hundreds and hundreds of projects, companies, organizations, foundations are building privacy, and it's a total mess because it's really hard for someone who is coming to the scene to understand the privacy readiness, which tools to use, where to start, and how to make this privacy journey. But moreover, like how you would trust those tools, because 98% never passed any security audit, no one attested their privacy features, so basically it's a black box, which you should always ask how to make them accountable. Moreover, like too many projects are building infra, while we need an applications here and there. Basically, you should demand, here's my phone, where is my private app, for whatever use case I have, from private data storage to private comms to private transactions. And basically, we're in a situation when we keep talking that, yeah, we need more solutions, like I made talk right now about an application, but we don't test and try the existing ones. Whenever it's a stealth address on Ethereum, like Fluid Key, or Andreas was here from Filewares, to give them a moment of your time to test, to play around, provide the feedback for builders, so they would know what to do and how to improve. Because basically, privacy is a collective action, open source action of mutual aid and support, and only that will lead us to the practical private solutions here and now. And the issue, I think, with the practical privacy that we don't approach privacy as a stack. I was sketching right now privacy ecosystem. We just get approved grant from EF on like mapping down who is doing and responsible for what type of privacy within Ethereum, because it's scattered from B2B privacy like Inco to, let's say, B2C privacy like Railgun through Railway Wallet. And also what's important is, would it work? No. To remember sunset projects like Cismo, Nocturne, post-tornado cache projects, because we can get lots of the learnings and lessons on why those teams failed, sunset, stopped operating on the road to delivering practical privacy solutions. Cismo was super great for builders with a nice sleek design, with a good fabric where you can create your ZK identity pretty fast, and that was important for the next steps of experimentation and the practical privacy within the hackathon building. But they sunset, and now we don't have anything like that. Moreover, if we talk about privacy as a stack, we should approach the whole our free software movement as a stack and as a complex kind of like worldview on like how we find, practice, and manifest alternatives. Because privacy is a bigger culture. It's your interaction with your family, in communities, your identity, your transactions, your data, almost everything. So we run this activity that we call the personal stack with a bunch of people from Vitalik to Audrey Tang to understand how they approach alternatives and solutions they use daily basis. And one of the things we keep kind of missing is like it's an open source culture. Second, that it's about self-hosting and it's about owning your data. And it's an interesting question to put in front of the privacy projects, like what kind of data ownership you provide me, how you empower myself. And only then it will intersect with the privacy. So I would say, I would call this more like a cultural stack that you should manifest on the road to decentralization. The problem is that we have also privacy OGs who are using lots of complex privacy solutions here and now, and not everyone can have the same level of radical ideology in life. not everyone is a developer in the room, and that's why we keep saying, like many years past, we keep saying that UX UI doesn't work not just in privacy, but in crypto in general. Because generally speaking, we should start with people, with the non-technical people, and then go to the terminal, although there are different views. Also, not everyone has an expert level of tech proficiency, because to master lots of self-hosted things that Amir is doing on GitHub, you cannot be a junior or Python beginner coder. And also you need to be like highly centralized, because privacy is so complex and it's a stack of so many different things, from RPC privacy to ISP privacy through transactional privacy, that many people can get scared by how problematic it is. And also I think on the road to decentralized front ends, it's a good question on like the graphic interface that we are playing around, all these material design approaches, all these fancy shiny notification first and nudge first applications that we have in Web3. Is it something that you really dreamed of? Is it a dream of decentralization? Or it's something that Web2 companies are forcing us to follow? And the cultural change is sort of achievable, but we need to understand like why we are here and why our collective effort really matters. I like to joke on many people that since we are manifesting and actively manifesting, and Ethereum Foundation is doing, that we should go cypherpunk. To be honest, not many organizations, corporations, protocol builders know what does it really mean, because those things were written like 30 years ago, and it's really bizarre and odd to take the subject that is quite historical and then blindly approach to the contemporary culture, because it can lead to a lot of misinterpretation, that you can see how people jingle the history on the political spectrum, on the Twitter fights these days. And to imagine radically new solutions, you need to understand that 30 years ago, internet was totally different. There was basically no internet as you think of it right now. No multiple devices. Devices were a privilege. There was no concept of surveillance capitalism. There was no Ethereum. Those things didn't exist. So we live kind of like in the urgency of creating a totally new culture that will be not just behind the builders who will create private solutions, but behind the collective who will manifest the need of making that private stack. And in this sense, we should start somewhere. We collaborated with Paul Dialnenis, also known as Postpolar, to kind of like having an entry point to the cypherpunk culture. And it's interesting because it's so complex that, again, someone would like to read books, the other people to test new tools, the third people can go and read new Ethereum cypherpunk manifesto, or follow some essays that many great thinkers made. And to start somewhere, you need to kind of put yourself in a position of a knowledge seeker person who want to empower life and not just be an NPC in the game. Also, personally, I don't like when you see that men are patronizing each other for not being private enough, or that your privacy is not that fancy. And I think we need to approach sort of like basic UX UI personas take and treat cypherpunk journey from the beginner to more expert, and not try to oppose on everyone that you should be Assange or Snowden, otherwise you're not legit cypherpunk in the game. And this will attract lots of young people curious about the culture that maybe could come to the cypherpunk scene through TikTok, for example. That's why the positive communication really matters, because we're in the, if we want to attract many young people to the scene, we need to start communicating and using different language. And if you just go and check the memes around the privacy, they're all around, all dedicated to surveillance, to Big Brother, to gloom and doom, to Orwell, but they lack a really positive, empowering approach. And if you will go to privacy groups, and you would understand that they're full of sort of negative thinking, while in reality we should manifest something that executive director of Tor said yesterday on Funding the Commons. They have the thing that is called Install Fest. It's basically an activity at the events when people will help you to install free software on your device, will help you to get the tools here and now and not wait for the years for developers to build them up. We're playing right now with the cultural kit for the cyberpunk transition because we think that it's not we shouldn't be limited only to use tools, but we should manifest it as a culture, the way how we look alike, the way what kind of devices, memes we have, the way we approach cryptography, the way we think about race, and also the new heroes that will help us to break up the linkage with the past. And also, there's no shame of using something like an ad block because the journey to privacy should start somewhere with a small solution that will have the smallest friction to transition from Web 2 to Web 3 in general. And we can encourage people to test those tools. They do exist. We actively publish them, running awards annually, and asking experts like what kind of exciting tools happened the last year. There's a lot of kind of people keep bragging that new tools doesn't work. And yes, open source is a pain. Everything is buggy, crashy. The filewares, Andreas knows that it's just the first several, let's say, months were terrible to use. But I think that if we would step back and would try to put ourselves in a position of care and help and respect to those builders and not try to approach them as like, oh, you're my Google app provider, you owe me the best solution, that will help us to build a nice culture of kind of like moving forward together and not patronizing those builders that your solution is not enough. Because in many situations, they're building those solutions for free. They're not asking any money. They suffer a lot, and providing a positive feedback will help us to make better tools in the future. And also, there's a lot of talk on public goods. It's a pain. We're going through this constantly, and we think that we need to redesign the ways we support financially open source developers and privacy developers, from grants to sponsorships to philanthropy. And I would love to see more philanthropists joining the game. The next, I guess, October, we will run a new round with Macy and Gitcoin, and we encourage many privacy builders just join the round and communicate with the crowd that can give back to their solutions. And we think that privacy here should be way more empowering than it's now. Thanks a lot.